Alright friends, welcome back to News in Focus. We are going to discuss on important aspects which require further analysis, and let us look at the first news. A visit of a state councillor of Myanmar to China. Who is a state councillor? State councillor or foreign minister is Aung San Suu Kyi for Myanmar. Recently she won the elections, but there is a constitutional bar. That's why technically she cannot become the prime minister of the country, but she is the real head with the name state councillor or foreign minister. And if you look at Myanmar during the past 50 years, it is suffering because of militancy on one side, then illegal sale of drugs is another problem, then timber mafia is also predominant in Myanmar, and jade trade. These are all the factors if you look at Myanmar. And for more than 50 years, the country was ruled by military junta. That is another important point. And recently general elections were held and Aung San Suu Kyi came to power with a landslide victory. And now she visited China. And what are the important aspects? Aung San Suu Kyi's first step is to sought support for her country's infrastructure needs. The country's infrastructure is in a very poor state. Second important aspect is no mention of a South China Sea dispute. Probably this is a big relief for China because Myanmar is one of the ASEAN countries. All of you are familiar with ASEAN countries. Please look into this slide. There are 10 ASEAN countries and Myanmar is one of them. Recently there was a dispute with regard to South China Sea. In South China Sea, the judgment is against China and the other party is the Philippines. Philippines is also ASEAN country, but another ASEAN member has not raised about the South China Sea dispute surprisingly, and this is a big relief for China. That is another aspect. Now joint statement placed on record Myanmar's support for Belt and Road Connectivity project of China. Please look into this slide. This is Belt and Road Connectivity. Belt and Road means economic belt from Asia right up to Europe. So connecting Asia towards the other end of Europe along with Africa. That is the main purpose of One Road, One Belt initiative. Economic belt as well as the maritime road initiative. So joint statement clearly indicated support for belt and road connectivity project of China. And another important aspect is it offered support to around 2000 kilometers BCIM corridor. You may ask, what is BCIM corridor? Please look into this slide. This corridor connects Kolkata in India to Kunming in China. Kolkata to Kunming, this is BCIM corridor which passes through 4 countries, India, Bangladesh, Myanmar and China. And it offered support for this 2000 kilometer BCIM corridor. And another important aspect is Mid-Zone Dam project. This Mid-Zone Dam project is a joint venture between China and Myanmar. And somewhere around 2011, work was suspended on environmental considerations, and the issue of a Mid-Zone project was also raised when Aung San Suu Kyi visited China. So these are the important aspects when Aung San Suu Kyi visited China. And immediately our External Affairs Minister visited Myanmar and met Aung San Suu Kyi. This is also having a lot of significance. And please don't forget, Myanmar has got borders with 5 countries: Bangladesh, India, China, Laos PDR and Thailand. Please don't forget. And another important aspect is Myanmar shares border with 4 Indian states. They are Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram. So these things please don't forget. Look into the next one. Minimum broadband speed will be raised from 512 kbps to 2 mbps. Previously, it was 256 kbps raised to 512 kbps some time back. And now the government wants to raise it to 2 mbps. And for proper delivery of consumer services, internet speeds even to the remotest parts of the country is very much essential. When India is talking about digital India, having high broadband connectivity with high speeds is very much essential. And at the same time, there are news reports that if you double the broadband speed, then GDP will increase almost 0.3%. And as per the National Telecom Policy of 2012, targeted broadband speed is 2 Mbps to be achieved by 2015, but till date we could not achieve it, and actual download speeds are much low. And instantly, we should not forget, India is one among the slowest internet speeds in the world, and internet speeds very much essential for startup ecosystem to flourish. Not only that, it is required for competitiveness and productivity, and it is inevitable if India's goal is to become superpower in knowledge-based services and services sectors. And what are the challenges? Government first task is to ensure availability of adequate spectrum at cheaper prices. This is very, very important. Then another important aspect is there is not much coordination even among telecom service providers. Coordination among telecom service providers is very much essential, and at the same time they should have proper coordination with central government also. Third important point is service providers must invest in augmentation of networks, and till date we are facing problem with the voice. Then why to talk about data? Frequent call drops is the regular phenomenon in this country. Even the voice is not properly managed by the telecom companies. Then how do they manage this data connectivity across the country? Then more emphasis should be on fiber optic networks and at the same time 4G wireless technologies. And some of the states are imposing higher right-of-way charges for laying optic fiber cables, and state government should cooperate with regard to the right-of-way charges. If they impose higher right-of-way charges and ultimately it will have a bearing on the cost, then center, states and service providers should work in mission mode to make this a reality, and ultimately it will immensely benefit startups, e-retailing, e-governance, distance education, healthcare services. Then the pertinent question is, why further delay? Right friends, look at the next one. Government notifies the Good Samaritan standard operating procedures. You may ask, Good Samaritans, what is the meaning of Good Samaritans? The meaning is, if some road accident takes place, normally no one is going there to assist the persons. Recently there were 2 cases in Delhi. Some road accident took place and the persons were left as it is, and ultimately because of loss of blood, persons lost their lives. And why people are not going towards the accident victims? Because of the reason subsequently police will harass them. So because of that reason, based on the advice of the Supreme Court, in October 2014, now government came up with guidelines. In fact, Union Transport Ministry came up with guidelines in May 2015 and subsequently followed by Standard Operating Procedure in January 2016. Now, what is announced is Union Road Transport Ministry has added a significant clause under which a Good Samaritan's affidavit will have the legal force of a statement. If affidavit is given by a person who attended some road accident victim, that will have legal force of a statement. And instantly, please don't forget, 5 lakh accidents occur every year. And almost 1.5 lakh people lost their lives last year. And under these circumstances, this Good Samaritan's standard operating procedure assumed significance. And what are the main points? No bystander. That means if some accident occurred, somebody is walking along the road. if that person go and attend the accident victim, then he should not be harassed. That means no bystander rushing to the rescue of an accident victim should be subjected to civil or criminal liability or be forced to be a witness. The affidavit of Good Samaritans, if filed, shall be treated as complete statement by the police official while conducting the investigation. And in case, if a statement is to be recorded, the complete statement shall be recorded in a single examination, and this is applicable only to those who want to be witnesses. That means it is voluntary. Police should not harass. And if somebody has given affidavit, that has got legal force as a statement. And if the bystander who attended the accident victim, he comes forward for giving statement, then only it should be recorded, and at the same time it should be recorded in a single examination. And the police should not compel them to disclose their particulars or to be witnesses. That means if some road accident takes place and if someone is attending the road accident victim, then they should not be harassed unnecessarily by the police. So this is a good move as far as road accidents are concerned, and let us hope bystanders will attend the road accident victims in case of need. Right friends, with this let us conclude the news in focus. Please do join for Read Between the Lines. Have a nice day. Thank you.